Cathy Murahashi, and I'm the parent-to-parent coordinator at the ARC of King County. I'm also the parent of a young woman who happens to have Down syndrome.
Put them in the middle. We get like 7 or 5.
When the little yellow school bus doesn't come anymore, it's a scary time. You have to start planning early so your son or daughter has meaningful things to do when they finish school. Without planning, parents often have to scramble to find support so they can work and have a life of their own. Work should really be the center focus of your planning. All the other activities can work around a schedule. Work really is the best respite program for parents. Work helps to build self-esteem. We all feel better when we have the opportunity to give back. And our sons and daughters working is not charity, it's feeling a need for the employer. Some things you can do now to get ready for work are: start developing a vision of your child working. Have expectations that they will work. Talk to your son or daughter about work. Like, when you have a job, think about what they might be good at, what works for them, what doesn't. These kinds of questions help to give some thought into what kind of job will work for them in the future. Think about what skills they may need and make a plan about them, how they can learn those skills. Start working on skills early. Instill a good work ethic. What does it take to be a good employee? Being on time, finishing tasks, being dependable, learning to dress appropriately. Talk about work clothes and home clothes. Think about what is appropriate work behavior. How to talk to your boss. How do you interact with coworkers? Do some role playing to help them practice. Talk about good manners with them, learning to say please, thank you, you're welcome, and I'm sorry. Help your son or daughter to learn to follow a routine and a schedule. Help them to learn to get up to an alarm clock. Give your son or daughter chores around the house, putting the dishes away, making their bed, taking out the trash. If they can't do an entire task, figure out what part they can do. If they can't wash the dishes, maybe they can carry their plate to the sink. Find opportunities for them to earn a little extra money so that they get the connection between working and having money. Maybe mowing the lawn, walking the dog, feeding the neighbor's dog. Make sure they have a wallet and be sure they have the opportunity to use their money. Try some things out with your son or daughter. Volunteering is a great opportunity. Maybe volunteering as a family together to get them started. Places like the library, your faith community, food banks, animal shelters are great places to find opportunities. Also internships and thinking about a summer job. Make sure you access your school to work transition program. It's the best opportunity you have to get employment in place for your son or daughter as they leave school. When school is out, there is no more spring breaks and summer vacations. It's summer vacation all the time. So building a daily schedule is really important. And the reality is, it will be our job as parents to do this. So get a day timer and start thinking now about how you're going to fill that day with meaningful activities. It also helps when there is some sort of routine in place. Jobs come and go, job development takes time, hours change, jobs change, managers change. So be prepared to fill that day timer again and again. Life isn't static and you'll have to do it many times. Understand that work can fill a good part of that day, even if it's only a small part. The reality is that the average number of hours for people with disabilities coming out of the School to Work program is about 12 hours a week. So there's going to be time to fill. Think about other ways to fill that day timer. Again, consider what they enjoy doing. Sometimes things don't work out when it's a parent-imposed activity. So what can they do? They can go to the gym, they can volunteer, internships, going to the library, taking a class. The parks and recreation programs are great resources. Maybe join a club. What are they interested in? One of the most important things you need to think about is how your son or daughter is going to get around.
Have a great day, girlie. Love you.
So learn to ride the bus or use access, and start doing that now. Take a ride as a family to help acclimate your son or daughter to the experience. Metro has a great travel training program to help learn how to safely use the system and how to learn specific routes. If your son or daughter isn't able to ride the bus independently, door-to-door access service is available. It's really important to connect with other parents. If I'm isolated, my son or daughter is going to be isolated. It also helps in finding jobs. The more people we know, the bigger the network. So consider joining things like the King County Family Coalition. Or Parent to Parents into Adulthood e-group. Or the Down Syndrome community, or the Autism Society, or other disability groups. So what can I do to help my son or daughter find and keep a job? The first thing is to network. Who do you know? What do you see happening in your local community? This is how everyone finds a job. Be a team. Communicate well with your vendor. All the pieces you know about your son or daughter, help them to find a good match. Make communication plan with your vendor. How often do you want to communicate? What mode works best for you and them? Who is going to be responsible for certain tasks, like communicating when your son or daughter is sick? So let's walk this over this way. Remember, your son or daughter's first job is not going to be their last. The first one may not be perfect, but it's an opportunity to build skills and get experience. Help your son or daughter with the little details of being ready for work: appropriate dress, cleanliness, being on time. Remember, the more time and effort you spend planning now, the more prepared you will be when the little yellow school bus doesn't come anymore.